Hello, everyone. Dividend Enjoyer here. And today I'm going to be talking about why I decided to add some Uber to my own portfolio, despite the rather negative news that Lyft is partnering with Waymo to bring some driverless rides to Nashville. The reason I decided to actually buy some Uber on this news and with Uber's stock going down is that I believe this shouldn't really impact the stock price as much as it has. And I think that Uber long term is going to look very cheap when we see autonomous driving begin to materialize. And even if autonomous driving is further away than we think, I think that the cash flows from Uber are very secure. I've already made a more detailed video kind of breaking down a stock analysis of Uber, but I wanted to make this video specifically about this situation because I think there's a lot of traction for the video to do well, and because I also wanted to say again that I did buy $750 of Uber. It's not financial advice. It's not an indication whether you should buy or sell or hold or do whatever you want with your Uber stock. But it is to say that I am very personally bullish on it. And again, I don't think this is going to impact anything because when we have an autonomous system that gets introduced into these cars and we get a third party app, Uber could make their own in house. That could be something that they could do. Or whenever this stuff gets made, someone else is just going to copy it. I don't think that this software is going to be something that's going to be exclusive for very long. And I think that Uber is the more superior brand to Lyft. And I think that the market cap is grossly undervalued compared to the potential value creation that could happen here. And I also really like the idea that Uber Eats is growing more and more. I think that the cash flows are very good. And it really looks like this is a very monopolistic landscape and that these software are going to be very valuable going forward. So I think that Uber is slightly riskier. It kind of reminds me of a better in position DraftKings because I did a lot of stock analysis videos on DraftKings and I actually used to own this stock in the early part of the year. And Uber kind of reminds me of that. There's a lot of potential growth here. There's a lot of future adoption of their products and services. I think that younger people are using Uber, and I think that that's kind of a trend that we're going to continue to see going forward. I think that the population enjoys using Uber's products and their services. Otherwise, you wouldn't see expansions in a lot of different things. And I think that the cash flows and the margins are going to improve over time, especially with autonomous driving. I think that eliminates a lot of potential hurdles for Uber, and that brings a whole nother slice of revenue to Uber that they weren't able to really materialize before. I really like this stock. I think this stock is extremely undervalued. I just wanted to make this video to say that I'm a contrarian today on Uber. And I really don't think that this technology, once it becomes autonomous, I really don't think the winner is going to be an automobile company. I think that's ridiculous because what usually ends up happening is once one car does something different, that car becomes very successful. That car becomes very monopolistic for about a year, and then everybody plays catch up and catches up. And we're really seeing that because, they could reverse engineer it and then they could kind of figure a way to get a new patent and do kind of the same thing. And we're going to see that same thing happen with autonomous driving. And, I just want to say, guys, too, again, not financial advice, but I would never personally invest in an automobile company just because they're extremely competitive. They have razor thin margins. There's a lot of difficulties. There's always the chance of being sued. There's unions. There's a lot of things that they do that benefit society as a whole, and I think that it's very fair to bail them out at times. But it's a very difficult industry to get right, and there are a lot of things working against you. Whereas with Uber as an app, it's a software, very high margins, very good business model, very monopolistic, and clearly the leader in the industry. Lyft is clearly not the superior brand. Uber is. And the cash flows from Uber, I think, are going to improve at an exponential rate into the future. I think that this is going to be a stock that I'm really glad that I bought a little bit of. I don't really necessarily even want to sell this one because I think that it's kind of like Texas Roadhouse where its best days are ahead of it. And I think that long term, we're really going to see that Uber is going to be an amazing company, and they're going to evolve with AI. And I think that people are going to have more income and they're going to be able to spend that on Uber. I know everyone's very negative about everything. I mean, I don't even have to get into it, quite frankly, but I tend to be very positive. I think that the new technology is going to generate a lot of positives, a lot of GDP growth. I think that we're going to see all industries really start to grow. And I think when people have more money, they're going to spend it on Uber. And yeah, that's just kind of my opinion. That's my thesis about it. I think the fundamental business is continuing to grow, and I think the company is the leader. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on it. Please leave a comment down below on what you thought of this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you liked the video. Really appreciate all you guys, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.